Hi, my name is Joe Smith. I live right here in Jacksonville, Florida. Well, it started as a valley experience in my life that I experienced quite a few years ago, and had some options through that valley experience. Ran into a Christian counselor saying I have a choice of being happy or being holy. And my first instinct was, I do want to be happy. I'm tired of being going through this. And I said, I think I'm going to take the holy route because I was a Christian.
Explain to me what he meant when he said happy or holy for the people who are watching this.
Happy would be to focus on other things, worldly things, to get me out of this valley experience that I was going through with relationship and my family problems that we were suffering through. And there was worldly options, and that's what he was saying, worldly options. The holy option would be allow God to keep you at this point for the time being until he sees fit that you have realized that he is who he says he is. So that attracted me, and I thought, I want to go that route. So I went that route, and I prayed for my gift. And I said, I want to be holy. I want to be a servant. I want to desire everlasting things and worldly things. I want him to make them less appealing. And I found out that he is who he says he is. One of my daughters took me into the inner city about 4 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, and she said, Dad, I want you to come. I think this may be something you're interested in. I walked in somewhat fearful, but I saw the kids interacting with her and her heart, and watched it, observed it, and I realized at that point that it was done. I had prayed for a few years, and that God would show me. When he does show me, that I'll know it, and I knew it, and it was done. At that point, I started the journey of my love for at-risk kids, inner-city kids, and working with them.
So what happened next? So you go into the city, you see your daughter hanging out with these inner city kids, and at that point it sparked in you. What was the next step in your journey then?
The next step was to the kids just being receptive and just they were ready for to be loved. And at that point I knew that the area that I think God in his plan was relationships. And I started researching more into what I like to say Christ following, and how did Christ do this, and it was relationships and unconditional love. And that started, I thought I want, so took advantage of a couple of mission trips in other parts of the world, and realized how bad it can be. I just wanted to see, because I really have a heart for inner city kids in America, but I did want to see what can I compare this to, and I found out it's pretty much the same. It's not, it seemed like other parts of the world the kids had a different perspective on God than it's hard to attain here, because we have too many options sometimes. And then I came back with a knowledge, and on the way back from one country, I knew that I'm going to stay in this country and work with at-risk inner-city kids.
So at that point, it was pretty much solidified. You kind of knew, hey, this is the passion that I have. This is the gifting that I have, is to really work with kids and be in relationship with them. And so here you are. You've got a contracting business, correct? And so you just said, I don't care, I'm gonna pursue this in my free time. So that's what you're doing right now.
Yeah, I'm a carpenter by trade, and I'm not a missionary. I just have a love that Christ has put in me for these kids. And so I still swing a hammer, like Paul as tent maker. I can't. The missionary title didn't fit. What fit was I love these kids, and a radical love.
Do you find that you get more in return than you give? I mean,
oh yeah, it's life-changing. Everybody that signs up for this ministry to help, to come in like, I'd really like to help, and then they come out with their lives completely changed. Priorities start to change. the kids minister to us.
That's so amazing. And I know you had mentioned to me that you've got a new name for the ministry, and why don't you share it with us?
Yeah, it's called In the Shadow of the Steeple.
I love that.
That stemmed from the thought of if every church in this area, if not the United States, would find an apartment complex, a HUD housing within a 3 or 5 mile radius, and adopted that, those kids and the families, if every church did that, it would really make some change. We've seen changes in the 3.5 years we have been there. The managers of the apartment it's unexplainable to her. She gets emotional that the changes that a handful of people with this radical love in the shadow of Steeple, meaning that they're 3 to 5 miles. I don't have a desire to go back to Peru. God hasn't given me that, but He gave me a desire to go 3 miles from my church.